ratings. Okay, one more just pearl of wisdom that MSNBC is depriving America of.
America, there's a thing about both white vigilantism and white tears, particularly male white tears. Really white tears in general, because that's what Karens are, right? They Karen out, and then as soon as they get caught, it's like Green Waterworks. White men can get away with that too. And it has the same effect. Even as the right tries to politicize the idea that masculinity is being robbed from American men by multiculturalism and wokeism, they still want to be able to have their tears.
In this video, Benny Johnson reports on the latest news about Joy Reid of MSNBC. Benny Johnson tells his audience that MSNBC has canceled Joy Reid's show. The cancellation of Joy Reid's terribly low-rated, hateful show, The Readout. What a stupid name.
Ago that we would all get sick of winning and we'd scream, we can't take it any longer, there's too much winning, no, we have to win more. And every single day Donald Trump makes good on that promise. President Trump predicting the future once again. Just 24 hours ago, President Trump posted this on Truth Social. MSNBC, commonly known as MSNBC, is a threat to our democracy. Such lying and misrepresentation, bad people at the top. And ladies and gentlemen, seconds later, MSNBC canceled its single most controversial, lowest IQ, dumbest, and lowest rated show, Joy Reid. The Readout has been canceled. MSNBC cancels officially Joy Reid's lefty show as the network makes major shakeup. Oh, yeah, you're going to love this. Wait till you hear who they replaced her with. Somebody lovingly known as the Race Lady by Tucker Carlson, MSNBC liberal mainstay Joy Reid show has been canceled as part of a major overhaul by the network's new president, Rebecca Culler, according to the report. The 7 p.m. program, this is 7 p.m. This was like 7 p.m. So I don't watch MSNBC, so it's like unbelievable. This is prime time. So they put this lady in prime time. This lady gets put in prime time. Wait till you see some of the reactions. You're going to love these. Hosted by ardent Trump critic Reid, 56, who will be replaced by a new panel show featuring Alicia Menendez, Michael Steele, Simone Sanders. New York Times reported. Alicia Menendez is the daughter of Bob Menendez, who's the senator who's just put in federal prison for bribery and foreign interference. You can't get better than this. This is going to be the replacements. Oh my God. Look at this. This is the banger. Okay, this is a banger from Fox News's Jimmy Fallon. Nothing could be funnier than watching a woman spend her whole career shamelessly race baiting the country, only to get fired during Black History Month. Congratulations to MSNBC on finally bringing viewers some actual joy. Joy Reid show canceled as ratings plummet. I mean, the reality to this is that like she's lost 60% of her ratings. Okay, people just aren't down to hear Race Lady screaming that everybody who doesn't like her is a racist. That's it. That's the entire thing, like including her own programming. Amid looming land.
Well, it couldn't have happened to a nicer gal. Honestly, I am shocked that this didn't happen much sooner. I always say, who watches this show? And I believe her demographic is like super old people that don't, really go online or look at political commentary on YouTube or other platforms, because we all know that legacy media on television is dying, even though there's still a billion options. And they just don't make as much money as they used to. So I always used to wonder, why do they keep her on the air? I've looked at like a history of her ratings. It says ratings plummet on here, but she was never even close to like the top 10. I mean, we're talking low as far as rated against other cable news shows and even other just cable shows in her time slot. She never had good ratings. I've seen a couple montages of people complaining that she got booted, and the collective IQ of these people is exactly what you would think if you could even picture one, what a Joy Reid viewer would look like. I just don't understand her appeal. And even though I disagree with her on every single word she says, even if I was a leftist, God forbid, I still don't think I'd watch her. Like she's not likable, not entertaining. She just spits pure vitriol and hate and racism. Who wants to watch that in their news? Anyway, let's get back to the video. Oh, and don't forget, the cornerstone of her show, of course, was always lies as well. Let's get back to it.
Landscape of languishing cable and legacy news stations, MSNBC has their lowest rate of January in history. The highly sought 25 to 54 demographic statistics holds important advertisers due to the group's spending power and the fact that they pertain to both daytime and primetime. During the hours of 8 to 11 p.m., MSNBC barely managed an audience of 700,000. CNN just 500,000. I mean, how? Our regular stream on this program like beats CNN and MSNBC, and it is unbelievable to me that that's true. But it makes me very, very happy. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow. So this is MSNBC's president. Really, boy, like physiognomy and phenotypes undefeated. This all occurred in the hectic news cycle following coverage of Justin Trudeau's resignation, Trump inauguration, controversy surrounding the president's parade, appointment pardon. Talking heads ranging from Jake Tapper to Joy Reid failed to stop the bleeding, as did the move from MSNBC. They brought back Rachel Maddow and they cut her salary by millions of dollars. MSNBC lagged to just 45,000 viewers during the day, 45,000 viewers, and 63,000 during peak at night. Wow, with the Maddow experiment seemingly failing. In terms of percentages, though, the figures were even more alarming. MSNBC essentially lost half of its audience, continuing a 65% slide after the election. Goodness gracious, just a freaking nightmare. Well, now that Joy Reid's show has been canceled, will dumb people get pearls of wisdom like this?
He is calculated, right? I mean, Donald Trump isn't just a doddering fool who happens to be racist. He's a calculated person who is not trying to grow his vote share. He's trying to speak into the id of a particular kind of voter about when he says we have to call out Detroit, Philly, and Atlanta. We have to go into Philly, Detroit, Atlanta. He lost Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Michigan in 2020, which is how he lost the election. It's why he's under indictment for attempting to steal those races. What he's telling his voters, his small, his share of extreme MAGA voters, these blacks are stealing the election. Black Haitians are violent cannibals. Black people are the enemy. Black people are going to be responsible if and when I lose, and you are permitted through my language to do violence to them if necessary to stop another piece.
Such pearls of wisdom. These are the memes. Joy Reid.
Has there ever been more decisive language you've heard in just that little small clip? Not just divisive, but flat out verifiable lies. He's telling his small group of voters, what, half of the country is his small group of voters, you moron? Then she says through his language, he's telling people that black people are the enemy and you can use violence against them. If I'm a complete idiot and I just hear that, I think, oh my gosh, Donald Trump's a monster. I mean, all of these news people act like there's some coded language in what Donald Trump says. And as I've said many times, they never really talk about exactly what he said. It's either manipulating what he said to fit their narrative, taking things out of context, or they report on something he said, like with all the Hitler and Nazi talk. It's like second or third hand conversation that we don't even know if he actually said. And by the way, I'd never seen a picture of MSNBC's president before because I've never cared to. But if I had a picture in my mind of what she looked like, that picture they just showed is identical to what I would have in my head. All joking aside, I think it is a great thing that she is off legacy media. I mean, I know we still have a lot of nasty liars on mainstream liberal media, but she was a big source for a lot of the lies that were said about Trump. She's racist. I mean, she never said it directly, but everything was always about how white people ruin things. I mean, flat out racist. And I know we're all tired of hearing this, but if you were ever to flip things she said about white people and a white anchor were to say the same things about another minority, they would be off the air before the newscast, before the broadcast ended. Part of the reason she stayed on the air was probably just because people are afraid to appear racist for saying something truthful like your rating sucks, no one likes you, you're racist, it's time for us to let you go. I think that played in her favor a lot as part of why she stayed on the air. I still can't believe it took this long, but hey, if you pray hard enough for something, God always grants your prayers. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
MSNBC show canceled in major shakeup. Grand Old Memes, great account. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand with Joy Reid. Joy Reid did literally do a Donald Trump haircut. This was the Joy Weave wig that was literally the Donald Trump hair. So it's like, there it is. She literally put on the Stockholm syndrome is essentially what you're watching here. What will we do without the brilliant political commentary of Joy Reid? Let's listen.
Ever heard here use the word inflation are journalists and economists, right? So that is not part of the normal lexicon of the way people talk. So it's interesting that Republicans are doing something they don't normally do, right? Which is not use the common tongue, right? Not use just common English to sort of do on their campaigns like they're doing with crime. But what they've done is they've taught people the word inflation, right? Yeah. Most people who would have never used that word ever in their lives are using it now because they've been taught it, including on TV, including in newspapers. They've been taught this word, and they sort of wrap this word around whatever it is that they really want to vote, the reasons they really want to vote. Acosta is gone. Chuck Todd is gone. Joy Reid is gone. Who is next? Ooh, man. MSNBC fires Joy Reid. The memes are great. This is a good one. Oh, just one final one. Just one final one. Yeah, here she is in 2022 saying Americans don't really care about inflation. They don't even know what the word means. Yeah, that's right. Her last show will be this week. Oh,
If you like watching videos like this one, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
Very excited about that. Racist conspiracy theorists, like really truly dumb with a really creepy past too. If Joy Reid's IQ was 1 point lower, you would have to water her like a plant. Oh man. Turns out being a professional race baiter isn't a favorite among viewers or ratings. Okay, one more just pearl of wisdom that MSNBC is depriving America of.
America, there's a thing about both white vigilantism and white tears, particularly male white tears. Really white tears in general, because that's what Karens are, right? They Karen out, and then as soon as they get caught, it's like, green waterworks. White men can get away with that too. And it has the same effect. Even as the right tries to politicize the idea that masculinity is being robbed from American men by multiculturalism and wokeism, they still want to be able to have their tears.
Do you imagine living like that, right? Like imagine living with like believing that, right? Imagine how painful life must be for you.
Benny's so right. I think about that all the time. Imagine how miserable a person Joy Reid must be on the inside. I don't care how much money she has. She has to walk around every day thinking that ugly about other people. It just sounds like a miserable life to me. And I don't understand the whole white tears thing. And forget about white people. I just don't understand the whole tears thing in general, because I assume she's talking about the right wing. When do you see like right wingers crying? When we lose an election, there aren't montages of people shaving their heads and screaming and crying that they lost the election, because most people on the right have jobs. They got stuff to do. They can't film themselves crying. But I do not know what she's talking about with the tears thing. Yes, we do promote masculinity because it's a good thing. And one other telling thing about her, even though she hates all white people and she's racist and nasty, she's still just like every other mainstream liberal news person. that thinks they're better than the average American. She suggested in that one clip that most Americans don't know what the word inflation means. That's what Joy Reid thinks of you and me. It will be interesting to see if she lands somewhere, which unfortunately I think she will. But when she has to compete on like YouTube or something like that, it will be fun to see her compete in a space where people really get their news. I think the only people that will watch her are people that are watching her ironically to farm clips for stuff like this. But we want to hear from you. What do y'all think about this glorious news that Joy Reid, the Wicked Witch, is finally gone? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, as always, really appreciate you watching, and we will see you on the next one.